So we continue our lecture. So here, instead of ArcNet, we use a VGG16. So anything is the same. But the difference, two differences here. Before, I mean, at that time, people use 7x7. But right now, we don't suggest use 7x7. And the second is one more class for background. Okay, that's a VGG16. Let's check. That's the maximum pooling. Yeah. Here, that's the maximum pooling is meaning here. If we want to reduce more parameters, especially here, because this one is a connected, fully connected network. So if you have a 7x7 by 512, you have to flatten here. So you have the cell node 7x7 by 512. But if you ignore this one, here is 14 by 14 by 512. It's a lot. So if you do flatten here, even though it's good to reduce this one, but 14 by 14 by 512 is a lot of flattened network cells. It's a lot. But right now the GPU is okay. But at this time, the GPU 1080, okay, 2080, it's all okay. And for the final output here, they use softmax. We already know that one. Okay, so we go next one. And this one is this one class. This is for history. I mentioned you the output here. Sorry, page 11. Remember, fully connected is history. Convolution is a heat maps. The output to count output are difference. So here, if we use the VGG16, but our output, if this is convolutional, so the output will be max. Okay, but here I want to, and this one, the thing is, okay, before, okay, we used only encoder, but right now, no matter we do segmentation or we do bounding box, because the input is entire image, right? So here we need to do what? We need to do decoder. We want to recover to, we want HIMAC recover to back to the original image size, or it's 2 times or 4 times less than original image size. I say again, here we have a 5 down segment here. So up to the last blocks, probably 7x7 image size or 14 by 14. However, your input is here is 200 something by 200 or 500 by 500 something. So he's too small. So if you want to do the detection, okay, you need to recover back to the either original image size or 2 times this, or 4 times this. Okay, so this kind of recovering we call upsampling or deconvolution. This convolution is deconvolution. Okay, also called transpose. So we have 3 terms to talk about this one. Actually, more than 3 terms. One is a decoder. The second, directly we say is upsampling, or it's easy to understand. Sometimes we call deconvolution or decoder, but people also call transpose convolution. Okay, And for the upsampling here, upsampling, even though right now, still, because you do compress, you do encoder, you lose the information when you do the upsampling. So how can we recover back to the original? I mean, try to get more information back to the original image size with the original information. That's still a problem. People try to solve this one. So that's meaning when we do the convolution or we do transpose, people still think about how can we recover and catch more information back to the original raw data. Okay. And the easy way is doing bilinear interpolation, upsampling bilinear interpolation. That's a regular way, but not special, nothing special. Okay. So here for upsampling, there are many methods. Not many, it's several methods. Okay. And this one method, easy method is this one. So suppose this, for example, so suppose this original image size is here. Suppose, and the value is 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose your filter size is this one, and we do upsampling 2 times, become 4. From 2 by 2, we want to become 4 by 4. So how can you do that? Okay, so one easy way is strike by 2. Strike by 2 here. Padding 1, strike by 2. But before I say, when you do downsampling, you have 2 methods. One is 2 by 2 maxima purely. The other is strike by 2 without padding. I should say without padding. Right. Okay. But for the upsampling, you still can do strike by 2. So how can we do that, for example? Okay. So if strike by 2 is not center, you will put here. So this 0 will put to here. So this actually 4 by 4 is here. So you put 0 here. Okay, and you zoom here. So become this one. And you shift 2. And then this you shift 2. Because 4 by 4, I should say, 4 by 4 is here. That you easy to see. Your original image size here. Okay. So this one is here. And this window will be here. So for the upsampling, downsampling, the window position difference. Okay. And for the upsampling, because you want to zoom out. Not zoom out, sorry. You want to expand. So you put this window to here. So you'll feel this one, 4 by 4, up to here. Okay, so value will be 1, 1. Value 1, 1, 1. Actually, it will be 1. And you shift by 2. And also, it times 2. This filter will time this value. This filter will time this value. So, suppose this value, the gray value is 1. So you become 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 here. You shift by 2. And this times the value 2. So become 2, 2, 2, 2 here. However, this overlap here. So your plus together will become this one. So this, and do the same way. Shift here, shift here. So 2 by 2 image size will become 4 by 4. Okay, that's transpose or upsampling. And after this one, you do bilinear interpolation to do the smooth. This without smooth. After you do this one, you will do bilinear here. I said you need to do bilinear interpolation to do smooth. So the image size become, you zoom, you double this one. So that's one kind of upsampling. Okay. And sometimes people do upsampling by learning the filter. And that would be better. We do convolution for the downsampling. We also do convolution for the upsampling. So this filters, this one, is if it's a weight, it's learning and the result will be better. Okay. And this one, I copy from the OpenCV. And in Monday class for undergraduate, we teach about this one. This for upsampling, I would like to explain here. Okay. So this is a suppose original image. And we do here, we do the Gaussian smooth and downsampling. So become half. And we do Gaussian smooth and we do downsampling, become smaller. So here is size is divided by 2, here is divided by 4. Okay. So how can we recover this size back to the original image size? And also we try to keep more information about features. So from the low resolution to high resolution, here we sometimes call super resolution. This kind of process we call from 2 to more than 4x4 times, okay, or 8x8 times. And this kind of process, and we want to have more details, we call super resolution. 有一门学问叫 super resolution， 我们以前做过，就是说你假设你原来影像这么小，我怎么变成这么大？没有这些 information 哦，没有哦。把低解析度变成高解析度，就像那个电影里面啊，电影里面不是那种卫星图一看那个车牌模糊，那他一直把它 zoom in 变大嘛，zoom in 就变大，然后最后变很清晰。这门学问叫 super resolution 这样子。好，那 deep learning 的 super， 我以前用 machine learning 跟 computer vision 做，大概可以做到16倍，再上去就模糊，就做不好。那 deep learning 真的比较好。那很多概念也是从以前的概念过来。那我回到这一边，好，那这边这个我为什么讲这个？是因为我刚刚讲的，我们目前在做 upsampling， 还是希望把之前失去的资讯拿回来。那这个大家还在改善，我就有 paper 出来，我就改善这样子。那你我要了解更多这方面的学问，在 super resolution 这个 topic 里面应当有更多 paper 在讲这个东西，这样。好，那我们回到这边，那因为这边这个不是主要，所以在做 transform 后是那个 upsampling， 我们一般用简单的方法，但记得简单方法并不代表好方法，你会失去资讯。到这边 ，so this one we downsample to here, and we do upsampling, and the Gaussian smooth, and so back to here we have an image, and we subtract from the original to this one, become this one is what? Become like Laplacian edge detection. This one. So this is with high frequency. What I try to say is that this is low, after you do downsampling, this low frequency, you lose a lot of high frequency components. So when you do upsampling, if you can, this also become blur. But if you can grab the high frequency information combined with the low frequency information, here we can recover to a good result, better result. So this result will combine here the low global resolution here. This global information is meaning what's the global information? It's geometric structure. Global information, important one is that they keep the geometric information, geometric structure. Okay. And this one is high frequency component or bandpass component. They will keep more detailed information. So if you combine detailed information and global information, they will become more better. Sorry, it will become better results. And do again. You do upsampling. You do Gaussian smooth and subtract. Sorry, plus with this one. Plus back to the high frequency information become better results. So that's meaning the same. If we do this one, downsampling, here upsampling. If you want to have more detailed information compared with the original one, you need to have a high frequency information plus together back to here. So how can we get the high frequency information? Here the way is this is a Gaussian minus Gaussian. Gaussian minus Gaussian become what? In the SIFT I teach you. SIFT they use different of Gaussian. Different of Gaussian is similar to different of Laplacian. Okay, so they'll become the Mexican head. Mexican 就是那个墨西哥帽嘛。你把那个 low pass 就高薪的平宽一个高的一个 valence 比较大，一个 valence 比较小，两个相减就变成有高频有低频，变成墨西哥帽，就是个 high frequency 的 extraction。那 Laplacian 现在是个 bandpass filter，但是还好，对，变成这个相减意思是说，你把这个高薪这里高薪的东西跟这个另外一个高薪的东西两个相减，那变成你在 extract 这里的 high frequency 的资料，把它存起来，所以这中间就会可以存很多属于高频的资讯。那当你这个 upsampling 的时候，因为你做 interpolation 只有低频的，那你要把高频加回来这样子。那这个就是一个什么 shortcut? This is kind of a shortcut. Okay, so that's why when you do encoder and decoder, okay, and the result is not good. So what can we do? We do shortcut from the original high dimension information and then combine with the global information. So here we'll combine the global structural information and local detail information combined together. So this is the computer vision. We call famous one. It's called pyramid. 是三角形 pyramid. Downsampling, upsampling. Okay, but we have a shortcut here. So this one, when we do the computer vision, we only do this one. Okay, so this is very famous. We call multi-resolution using wavelets. So when wavelets is getting popular, they have one important thing is we call multi-resolution or pyramid. Okay. And for the deep learning, because in the computer vision we do high to low or top to bottom, bottom to top. And the deep learning, they don't want to do the same thing, so they inverse. 你会发现 deep learning 都是从 bottom 上去，然后再 bottom up、bottom top， 就从高解析度在这里，然后低解析度，然后再低解析度、高解析度。为什么他要这样做？他没有，他标新立异而已啊。因为他要跟 computer vision 不一样 ，computer vision 习惯是就 pyramid 的习惯就是从这里下来变低解析度再上去。那 deep learning 只是把它，本来 deep learning paper 是这样做，可后面 有几个有名的那个 feature cream 的 network， 有几个有名的 deep learning， 他把它颠倒过来，然后习惯就用这个啊。但是有一个叫 UNet，famous one。UNet, so UNet actually similar to this one. UNet is from here to here, and then go upsampling, and then connection. So UNet is very similar, actually exactly the same. So this UNet use this one, UNet. Okay. So the same thing. And this is important for the, we'll talk about YOLO Vector, I will talk about this one. So we keep going. So here the topic I want to say is how can we do upsampling? It's the method. So when you do upsampling, be careful. Sometimes your result is not good is because your upsampling method is not good. And this is the other paper in FCN. This is the other paper in FCN. They do the same thing. They do downsampling, use pooling. So there is low resolution here. And they do upsampling. But each time when you do the upsampling, they combine. So this is a 405. Suppose it's divided by 32. 就它已经 downsampling 32 times. And they do upsampling. And here the resolution is the same as this one. So they concatenate, they shortcut to here. And then concatenate together or add together. And then upsampling and combine together. Okay? So this is the same to upsampling. Use this method. So more details. Okay? So you'll find the result this one. In the low resolution, suppose divided by 32 times, will become this one. The ground truth is this one. So you do upsampling and more upsampling, you'll find more in details. This is the same. Original image is this one. And ground truth is this here. And then compare the result. Compare the result. And so this one is 8 times here. But why not? Why not recover to the original image size? Because of GPU. 这有一点是说，为什么它这当时变32倍、16倍到8倍不做了，就跟 ground truth 比，就8倍这里，然后8倍，然后就做这里就不再做了，因为是 GPU 跑不动了。因为 upsampling 到这里的话，参数太多 ，GPU 跑不动，所以他们只 upsampling 3次就不做了。啊，那个时候这时候2017年还是跑不动。那你现在跟你讲，现在也大概跑不大动，除非用那个比较比较 powerful 的 GPU 就跑得动这样子啊。那学校有买，到目前都看得到摸不到这样子，用不到，大家都干瞪眼而已哈。我们有试着去申请，也是申请没过，就这样。为什么不知道 ？OK， 好，那就反正我也不知道计算机中心，我们去申请。好，那我们就回到这边，就自己想办法。So we talk about faster, and right now we talk about faster. Page 5. So we finish this one. So the pre-processing still use the computer vision, and right now the faster RCN in page 5, we start use instead of a computer vision method, we use a region proposal network. That's important. Region this is very important. Region proposal network. What's the region? Bounding box. What's proposal? Prediction. Region is bounding box. Proposal. Propose is what? It meaning predict. You predict. So you want to predict the region, the network. Okay. Good. So we start talk about our major topic, faster RCNN. So faster RCNN is here. So we want to directly detect the object using region proposal network. So the structure or the network of fast RCN is this one. So orange, I think probably let's find out one. Very easy to this concept. Later we'll talk about more in detail this one. Okay. So in this part, fast RCNN combine two network. One is fast, original fast RCNN here. The other is a region proposal. So say again, the advantage for networker is that you can combine two or more than two networks together. Become we call multitask. Multitask, this term is important. You should know what's multitask. Multitask meaning either you have a multiple input or you have multiple output. Multiple output meaning you have multiple loss function, total loss. Okay. So you can combine different network to be one network. Okay. So in fast RCNN, they combine two networks. One is here, original fast RCNN is here. This one. The second is that we combine region proposal network is this part. And this part, region proposal network, is for bounding box detection instead of selective search. Okay. So this way is suppose either this is the AXNet, we don't, or VGG16. So we do VGG16 and do feature map, right? But here, because this is a VGG, so here is only can do what? Can do the classification. So input here should be only one small region. Okay. This one, input here is the entire image. And you go through here, and we, based on the region, is meaning bounding box. Proposal is meaning predict. So we want to predict the object position here. So after this one, we predict object position with a bounding box. And this bounding box, we give to this network. And based on bounding box, we can do classification. Also, we can do refinement. I say again, original here is already bounding box. You select the region and you do encode. And here we do classification based on this small region. In this part, you input is the entire image. And you try to detect the region. So how can we combine both together? You think about how can we combine both together? That's the faster RCNN. So faster RCNN basically is this way. They combine fast RCNN. However, fast RCN here input is the ROI. It already selected the bounding box. They combine region proposal network. The input is any image size. The output is bounding box. So how can we combine together? So they combine together in this way. So here's only FCN, okay, fully convolutional network for encode. And then we detect based on region proposal, we detect the region, detect the bounding box. Here we also, because here we have an encode, we have a many mix. So based on the region, we select the interest region here. And for each region, we do classification. But actually, we also do the refinement here. Okay, let's talk about more detail. But what is this one? The complete lecture is here. This is just concept. The complete lecture is here. So I can yeah. So what's the RPN? RPN is what I talk about here. This one. This RPN. RPN is only this part. So in the first RCNN, they have a two types. Two types. This is initial position for the detection. This is refinement here. Two types. Okay. And for the RPN, this is first in combined two network, 1, 2. And I talk about RPN. Only RPN. RPN will include bounding box. They also include the classification. But this class only foreground and background. Don't confuse with this class. This class, suppose we have 20 classes. This one is refinement of the region. They also do classification, but this classification has 20 classes, like a cat, dog, people. In the RPN, they also have a classification, but it only classify foreground and background, so it's difference. 你不要把这两个搞混了。这个是分很多类，这个只有分前景跟背景两类而已。那 so back to so RPN, the purpose is for each feature, allow feature map, and suppose this one is 7 by 7. Okay, and they try to what do they try to do? They try to find the initial bounding box. They also try to classify the foreground become 1, background become 0. 要注意一下。What is this one? This one is here, in page 13. You do extraction, right? And up to here, so this is 7 by 7. Up to here is 7 by 7 by 512, or it's 14 by 14 by 512. So it has a 7 by 7 grid. Suppose it's here, 7 by 7 grids. 7 by 7 grids. Okay, so this one is this one. And this one is here. Is this one. Output here. So output here is suppose it's 7 by 7 by 512 maps. Here's 7 by 7 by 512 maps. And we'll come here. So here is 7 by 7 by 512 maps. For the region proposal network, this one, we try to detect the bounding box of the object. We try to classify foreground, background. Okay. So for the region proposal network, one important one I want to say is anchor. They introduce the anchors. It's very important. Okay, so what's the anchor here? First of all, for each grid, suppose it's 7 by 7 grids. For each grid, I have 9 anchors. The anchor is suppose this one. The size is suppose 3 by 3, but the ratio is different. This 1 by 1, this 1 by 2, this is 2 by 1. So I have a 3 kind of a ratio. And this each anchor is I assume there is an object candidate there. FPN is very important. YOLO, FPN, Retina, they also use the anchors. So anchor is very important. So what's the anchor? Anchor is meaning a small window. So they already design. So each grid, they have 9 anchors. What's 9 anchors? The anchors include for 3 types of ratio. Sorry, 3 types of scales. So this scale probably 3 by 3. This scale is 5 by 5. The other scale is 9 by 9. This one, 7 by 7. So the 3 scales. One is this one, square, 3 by 3. This probably is 5 by 5. The other is 9 by 9. 7 by 7. So you have 3 scales. Each scale, you have 3 ratio. This 1 by 1, this 1 by 2, this 2 by 1. Because suppose this object, let's assume the object type is this kind, or this is like a human, stand up human. So ratio is 1 by 2. This is a car or motorcycle is 2 by 1.这我讲一下，这个很重要。Anchors 就是说 ，anchor 是什么？是它是个 candidate，就假设在里面可能有物体。那我要这9个，因为总共有9个 anchor， 我要看这每个 grid， 它会有9个 window 去把这个框下来，它要去看这里面有没有 foreground 的物体啊？那他怎么判断？他给他 anchor 的 window size 是怎么做？他假设这是3by 3，那另外一个 anchor 500 5 by 5 500，一个是7 by 7嘛，就3个不同大小的，因为他不晓得里面的物体是多大，他不晓得，只有这3种。然后呢，每个比率不每个那个 scales 又有3种比率，因为它可能物体长成是四四方方的，像房子，假设有的是站起来的，像人，它用成1比2。那像倒下去的车子，什么是属于倒下去就是2比1这样子。所以它每个 scale 有三种不同的 ratio， 那总共有3种不同 ratio， 3 3等9就9个 anchors。所以意思说我每个 grid 它用9种不同的 window 去判断这个 window 里面是不是有要的物体，这样子叫 anchors。So anchors is a candidate, the initial size for the object. So this here. Now for each anchor, they have 4 parameters. Is a anchor center, anchor width, anchor height. 就这个。How can you represent the anchor? How can you represent anchor? We will represent by center, by width, by height. So the center by width 它那个宽跟height 高嘛，就是它有9种这种不同的比例。That's for bounding box. So total has 36 parameters. So why this here we write the vector is 36. Okay, that's for one grid. 每个 grid 它有36个不同的参数。那所以你看是这个 what's K? K is anchor. What's 4? 4 is a X, Y, W, H. So total parameters for each grid is 4 times K. K is 9. So 49 is 36. The same 9 anchors. This is for classification for foreground, background. So class 1 is foreground, class 0 is background. So this is for classification of each anchor. So I have 2 parameters times anchor's number. So this one is for each grid. 每一个格子里面，他就去看这个格子里面有没有前景的物体，或是背景的物体，然后它的 bounding box 是多少这样子。所以是这里。这当然有 labeling. You will do labeling. So you can compare with this one. So this will be classification will be cross entropy. This one will be mean square error. Okay. And from here to there, because this is a map. This is a map. So suppose the map is 256 or 512 maps. 有那么多 maps. And after you do 1 by 1 by 256, sorry, actually by the 3 by 3 by 256 convolution, sorry, filters, you'll become 1 by 1 by 256 dimension vector. 就是你每个这个大小，你本来这边有个 map 嘛，那你每个 grid 你的大小就把这个当成那个像3乘3乘256的 map， 那就变成256个 dimension， 这是一个 feature map， sorry feature vector， 然后再从这个 feature map 去做那个 loss function， 那这个就是 RPN。好，那基本我们待会马上会再继续讲更 details。Okay, so the result here we can detect the result, and we can do classification. And each class we have a confidence value. What's the confidence value? It's classification value. Like this one is look like 0.9 between 0 and 1. 0.9 look like a people. This one is 0.9 look like a horse, something like that. Okay, so right now we just briefly talk about the concept, and we'll go through the details about first RCN here. Okay. So for the first RCN paper is here. This is a paper. So important one is region proposal network. And one famous author, both are very famous. One is her, he or her, 这和啦，大陆人哈，这个做得非常好。另外一个是这两个，但是这个和比较有名。这两个那时候在，好像从 Microsoft 现在好像跑去 Google 了。So we'll continue to talk about this one in next lecture. We'll try to finish the first RCN. Take a break.